Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Energy Minister confirms central banks reported 2.4% sector growth. Pakistani heroine Malala Yousafzai expected in Trinidad and Tobago later this year. And Member of Parliament for Cuba South underscores the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Thank you for joining us. Energy Minister Senator the Honourable Kevin Ramnarine is agreeing with Central Bank's report, highlighting a 2.4% energy sector growth in the fourth quarter of 2013. In a release, the minister says this is just an indication of the growth anticipated for the sector during the current year.
Growth in the energy sector is being attributed to an increase in natural gas output and high oil production. A report coming from the central bank states that the sector grew by 2.4% in the last quarter of 2013. Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine in a release says the recorded growth in the fourth quarter comes on the heels of the end of the largest maintenance program in the history of the country, which was conducted by BP, BG, Point Leases Companies and Atlantic and coordinated by the NGC and the Ministry of Energy and Energy Affairs. Minister Ramnarine noted that in 2014, the emphasis on natural gas production will be on the coming onto production of the BP Salvanet 7 well, the commencement of the Juniper development by BP, development drilling on the Amherstia by BP, the BG Chevron Starfish development. He says in 2014, emphasis on oil production will be directed to state agencies Petrotrin and Trinmar. Currently, 8 drilling rigs are operating in Trinidad and Tobago waters, while 2014 is scheduled to be one of the busiest for the energy sector in over 30 years, as 14 exploration wells are carded to be drilled by several oil and gas companies this year. In December 2013, international credit ratings agency Standard & Poor's predicted a 2.6% per capita GDP rise in Trinidad and Tobago for 2014, with reference to what it described as a recovering energy output and continued growth in the non-energy sector. The report also indicated that increasing exploration activities in the oil and gas sector in recent years should sustain energy production over the coming decade, contributing to economic growth. It's expected that the ministry will meet with BP officials later this week to discuss medium-term plans for the sector this year. Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
Tertiary Education and Skills Training Minister Senator the Honourable Fazal Karim announced on Friday that 16-year-old Pakistani Malala Yousafzai, who was shot in the head in October 2012 and miraculously survived, has accepted his invitation to visit the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago later this year. Minister Karim was addressing members of the inaugural Women's Symposium hosted by COSTAT.
To announce that Malala Yousafzai has confirmed her acceptance of my invitation to be in Trinidad and Tobago within the next 4 months. I am certain that her visit will inspire us all to continue the struggle for gender equality in our society and renew our appreciation for the liberties that we take for granted.
Minister Karim said her acceptance follows a visit he made to her home in England earlier this year when he was privileged to meet and visit with her family.
At the age of 15, she was shot by a Taliban militant in the head and miraculously recovered. It is sometimes looked at as a sad story. Instead of being discouraged and deterred from this activism, her fervor was only heightened by this experience. Many of you know that I speak of Malala Yousafzai.
Minister Karim said he was drawn to her story in recognition of a common vision to make a difference to the lives of people through education in terms of equality of opportunity, access, relevance, and quality.
To the Honourable Kamla Persad Bissessa, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, with best wishes for your success. You are an example and an inspiration to all of us. Yes, a woman can do anything. She has the capability. You are great, Malala, the 23rd of January, 2014.
Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said, Malala is truly an inspiration to everyone with whom she comes into contact and has done more to shake up this planet in the 16 years of her life than many people manage to do in a lifetime.
The minister introduced me, said I am the first ever woman Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And I know I will not be the last. So to all the women, to the young girls, to the young ones out there, we give courage, hope and inspiration. And I am today very touched by these words from a 16-year-old who has withstood great adversity, but who triumphed. And she, therefore, is an inspiration, an example for all women and girls. And of course, to every person, male or female, who would face the odds in order to triumph.
Malala has become a global name as the Pakistani girl who stood up for education of girls under Taliban rule. On Tuesday, 9th October 2012, she almost paid the ultimate price. She was shot in the head at point-blank range while riding the bus home from school. She was not expected to survive. Instead of being deterred by this experience, her fervor in campaigning for this cause has only heightened. Her miraculous recovery has taken her on an extraordinary journey from a remote valley in northern Pakistan to the halls of the United Nations in New York and Buckingham Palace. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
And we do look forward to Malala Yousafzai's visit in the next couple of months. In other news, Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar has left our shores on private business to attend the funeral service of a family member in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This according to a release from the Office of the Prime Minister. In her absence, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Winston Dukaran, will act as Prime Minister till Thursday, March 20th, when she is expected to return. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar left the country at midday on Monday. Before her flight, she met with several of her cabinet ministers and parliamentary colleagues at the diplomatic lounge at the Piarco International Airport, who extended their condolences and wished her a safe journey. News 4 continues right after the break. Stay with us. To educate, to employ, to produce entrepreneurs and ensure that residents have a better quality of life are some of the objectives of the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training as it continued its Meet the Ministry community outreach program.
The Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training hosted its third Meet the Ministry or Community Conversations, an initiative of Senator the Honorable Fazal Karim and his ministry's affiliate agencies. The first meeting was held at Caldrak Sports Club, Dow Village, while the second took place at the St. Augustine Community Centre. On Tuesday, there was a large crowd of attendees at the Todds Road Community Centre who stood to benefit from information on the ministry's offerings.
So this is about bringing the information to you, our community conversation. So that part of what is going to happen this evening is for us to listen to you, to hear from you, for you to tell us what are some of the needs. But I want you to focus your needs on what the ministry is all about. Other ministries will come and you may ask them about the roads and the drains and so on. But this ministry is concerned about building the human potential, the capacity, the skills, the education, the training. How do we empower our people? So Meet the Ministry is important because we recognize that all of you might find it difficult to get to the ministry or to come to our agencies to find out what is happening. So that we took the decision to take the ministry to the people, to take the ministry to the community, to take the ministry to the citizens. And we're going to be doing this month after month throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
As in the previous events, chairmen and representatives from the various M-Test agencies were present to take questions from the audience and give details about education and training opportunities available in the Chaguanas area, upcoming M-Test projects, and other valuable information. The agencies represented were the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, the College of Science, Technology and the Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, the National Energy Skills Center, the Metal Industries Company, the National Training Agency, the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and the Youth Training and Employment Partnership Program.
It is very important for us to continue to learn and to continue to attach yourselves to these various institutions to obtain the basic knowledge. It is not important for us to learn every single thing, but it's important for us to make ourselves marketable, that we can access some of the better employment.
The Honourable Member of Parliament for La Hoqueta Talparo expressed his pleasure with the programme and assured his constituents that age was not an excuse when it came to accessing the opportunities for learning and self-empowerment.
I'm very happy today to have the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Tertiary Education, and when I see the long list of chairmen and managers and directors of the various sections of the Ministry of Tertiary Education, I feel very elated to be here, to have them right here in your community, right here in Todd Road. Where I don't even feel that something like this ever happened in these areas. But I am very, very happy that we are here to let all the young people and those who are not so young as well, who are willing to learn.
Among the many topics discussed, the crowd learned of opportunities available at the recently opened Drilling Academy, which is run by the NASC, the OJT centres around the country, and the courses available for persons 25 to 60 years in the retraining program under YTEP. Residents were also appraised of the progress made by the Ministry's workforce assessment centres. The residents will benefit further from the Ministry's services at a career fair, which will be held at the Community Centre on Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They were encouraged to attend to register for useful programs and learn more about what training opportunities are available to them. The next Meet the Ministry Forum and Career Fair will be held in South Trinidad in April. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
The government continues to place emphasis on the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. The point was underscored by Member of Parliament for Couva South, the Honourable Rudranath Indar Singh, as he recently hosted a Healthy Lifestyles clinic in his constituency.
The Couva South MP is promoting healthy lifestyles in his constituency. He began this drive with a Healthy Lifestyles clinic hosted at the Arunodai Presbyterian Church. Minister Indar Singh says he's doing his part to assist in the promotion of healthy lifestyles, as it can have huge effects on the country.
When you have diseases such as strokes and hypertension and diabetes and so on, it places a great strain on the public health system of the country. The economic burden on the state is in the vicinity, the indirect cost is in the vicinity of over $250 million.
He explains that the entire government is on board with the promotion of healthy lifestyles, so much so that even the Prime Minister is doing her part.
The government has realized this because the Prime Minister was able to put this whole issue of non-communicable diseases on the agenda of the United Nations and also at the regional level of CARICOM. And I think that I am working towards what we will call a wellness day in the Couva South constituency. And the government is actually walking the talk by ensuring that not only we convene discussions and so on, but the lighting of recreation grounds and the establishment of what we would call walking and jogging tracks and so on, so that people will find the opportunity or the enabling environment will be created so that persons could actually engage in what we would call a healthier lifestyle, walking and so on a daily basis.
Minister Indar Singh says there must be a sense of personal responsibility and awareness regarding healthier lifestyles. However, he reminds parents and teachers that the brunt of that responsibility falls on their shoulders.
I want to appeal to parents and children, especially the more mature ones in the society, to ensure that the lunch bags of children, they have more what we would call vegetables in terms of their diet, what they consume with less sugar and so on. And of course, we must be able to take the fight into the cafeterias and so on in the primary schools, the secondary schools, and so on, so that we could promote a healthier lifestyle.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
In other news, residents of the Heights of Aripo are set to benefit from a public transport bus service passing through their community every 2 hours. This was revealed by Minister of the People and Social Development, Dr. the Honorable Glenn Ramadasing, as his ministry recently took its services to the residents at the Heights of Aripo through its direct effect walkabout.
Numerous residents of Heights of Aripo in Arima turned out to take advantage of the Ministry of the People's Direct Effect program. Addressing the community, Minister Ramadasing explains the program aims to reach out to citizens and offer them any services they may require from his ministry.
We could touch the lives of those who need help, those who need food sustenance through the food card, those who need the pension or the pension corrected, or the fact that they're about to get pension and want to get it on time, those who are suffering and need the public assistance so that they can take care of their children, those who have to get special medication and need the pharmaceutical grant, the dietary grant. Those things are available and we bring them to you. Those of you who are living in communities where you need water run, we can do that through the NSDP. Those of you who need to electrify your home and you cannot afford to do so, we have the ability to help you to get that electricity in your home. Any service you require from the government, whether your home is dilapidated and you need to repair the foundation, or whether you need to repair the roof. So this ministry taking care of everything, from foundation to finish.
Minister Ramadasing says the number of persons the ministry reaches out to has risen consistently, and he expects that number to continue rising. This, he says, is an expectation which highlights how much his ministry cares about the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
In the very first year, by moving through 34 communities in Trinidad and Tobago, we saw 12,000 people in the next 6 months. We were to move that figure to 33,500 in the next year, which was 2011, and then 55,000 in 2012. Now, in 13 and in 14, we expect to see more than 75,000 of our citizens throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. We don't wait for people to come to us. There are offices, 16 offices throughout Trinidad and Tobago where you can do that. We have come to you, the people here today. This is rapid access in inaccessible areas. This is the ministry coming to you to show you that this is truly a ministry of the people. Your ministry, that you can knock on the door and that your request shall be answered.
The ministry is expected to return to the Heights of Aripo next Tuesday when the MP for the area, the Honorable Roger Samuel, conducts a walkabout. They will also be accompanied by Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Dr. the Honorable Suraj Ratan Rambachan. Minister Ramadasing reveals that at that visit, the residents can expect the launch of a new bus service for their community.
The PTSC is working towards giving you a bus that will traverse this area from next week every 2 hours. So the PTSC will launch a service. So we will actually be here with your Member of Parliament to launch that service.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
News 4 continues right after the break. Stay with us. The men of Defence Force continue to ease their way up the TT Pro League standings following their return from national security duty. They faced title contenders Point Fortin Civic FC in Couva on Sunday, and our very own Wayne Cunningham was at the Atto Bolden Stadium, and he has the highlights.
W Connections' march to the TT Pro League title was dealt a blow on Saturday as they fell to a crushing 3-0 defeat inflicted by Couva rival Central FC. The win put the Sharks in second place on goal difference, but the Savanetta boys are still 5 points clear with a game in hand despite the defeat. Both teams will be watching the Defence Force though, as the defending champions continue to make up points at a rapid pace. They faced the highly fancied and well-supported Point Fortin Civic FC on Sunday and were hunting early. But Point has been undefeated for 8 straight games, and that's no fluke. 8 minutes into the encounter, they rocked the upright of Kevin Graham's goal. Twice, but no goal. National goalkeeper Marvin Phillip was also earning his pay at the other end. Dave Long with a shot following the corner. Then Josimar Belgrave had him flying to make sure this one stayed out. Josimar then knocked the win out of Phillip with a rocket, but still no goals. In the 35th minute, Point shot themselves in the foot. Own goal following the Kerry Joseph corner.
Defense force.
The non-header trailing off the defender who elbows the ball to make it 1-0 Army. The defense force pressure was relentless as the half neared a close. That pressure continued as the second half began. Devon Jostling testing Phillip in the 50th minute. Point were not idle in attack, and Marcus Joseph again found the post early in the half. The military men were also holding their heads following near misses. This tackle then changed matters as Glenn Franklin took the legs out from under Devon Modest and he was ejected by referee Michael London. Defence Force coach Ross Russell adjusted his forces magnificently by sending on the reliable Rodell Elcock and the experienced Ackley Edwards to firm up the defence. That resulted in Point Fortin hardly getting another sight at goal, and the Defence Force holding on for the 1-0 win.
The final score, Point Fortin Civic FC,
which moved them to mid-table with 3 games in hand. So don't count them out as yet in this title race. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Well, out of sport and into the Ministry of Science and Technology, in conjunction with NEHRST, they've launched the 3rd edition of the Science Music Video Competition, which challenges persons between the age of 14 and 28 to create music videos that illustrate the important role that science, technology, and innovation play in national development.
It's anticipated that in this year's Science Music Video Competition, an eclectic range of video submissions will be received. This as entrants will be given the opportunity for open expression. This initiative is being done through the Ministry of Science and Technology and NEHRST. According to the ministry, the music videos may be in any musical genre and must focus on a theme within a range of scientific concepts and technical and developmental issues, from robotics and mechatronics to rainwater harvesting to medicine and health and wellness. According to Ray Sandy, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Science and Technology, this youth competition encourages young people to use their imagination, creativity, and prevailing smart technology and local cultural art forms to develop new ideas or to showcase science and technology issues in a totally different and fun way. P.S. Sandy stressed that it's in this light that education and awareness programs such as this science and music video competition prepare the nation's youth for dynamics of this ever-changing world. The competition boasts a first prize of $40,000 and other prize distributions amounting to $114,000 for outstanding entries. The winning videos will be posted on NEHRST website and other social media platforms. Successful entrants will be mentored by some of the leading industry experts in media and video. Applicants are asked to submit the first draft of their videos by April the 1st, 2014, with the winners being announced at an award ceremony in September this year. Felicia Wilson, More News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.